Hey y'all, it's Valerie here at Pisces Mountain Farm. Sorry if I'm so squinty today, but it's very bright outside. I have a seed haul I want to bring you, so I'm going to go hang out in my greenhouse and do it. That's why we're standing out here. I just kind of wanted to be in my greenhouse today, checking on some plants out here and bring you the seed haul. Alright. It says it's 115 in here. And it doesn't initially feel 115, but the more I stand here, the more I think that that might be accurate. Let me show you this. Outside, there's still snow on my deck. As you can see, there's still snow on the slopes. It's 55 degrees out here today, so that would explain why I'm out here in a tank top. I knew my greenhouse was going to be hot. I didn't expect it to be quite that hot, so I'm going to open these doors, and then we're going to get to that seed haul. It is very bright out here today. Maybe my eyes just aren't adjusted to it yet. One of the first things I definitely need to do is get all my junk cleaned out, because this greenhouse has been used for storage. Mostly my pots, mostly my seed starting pots and my winter sowing stuff. But now that it's going to be in use, I have to get all that stuff out of here. And I also need to hopefully get some shelves in, but we'll see. Okay, this swap that I did is the Winter Sowing with Cheryl Mann group on Facebook. So if you look up Winter Sowing with Cheryl Mann, you will find the group, and they do a big swap, and one of the formats of the swap is you make a list of everything that you have to trade, and then everybody else in the swap does the same thing, and you post your list. A lot of people use Google Docs, some people use Excel. Some people handwrite their list and just take a picture. And then you present them with an offer. Like once everyone gets their trade post, you look through their lists and you say, for instance, I would like this green bean that you have. Here's my list. Take a look and see if anything you want. And then you come to mutual agreement. Well, you then take all your seeds and you package them up and you send them to one central person. So even though you may swap with 20, 30 people, you're paying shipping to one person, and they get all the packages. They sort all the swaps that belong to you into a package, and then that person sends them back. And, you know, usually the way this one works is you just print out your label, you send it in with your seeds, and then you put a $10 in there to cover your return postage, and they'll print off the label and return your seeds to you. And that makes it to where you're not, you know, paying $10 to send seeds to every single person, because it's approximately $10 to ship one of these. So if you're trading with 40 people, that would be $400 to ship. And this way you're paying $10 to send it and $10 to receive it back. All right, now let me open this. And this is always such an exciting, even though I remember what I traded for, it's been a few weeks since this trade happened. I want to say 2 to 3 weeks since this trade happened. So even though you know what you're getting sort of, you kind of forget, because whenever you're participating in these swaps, it's such a flurry. It's almost a high. You're just like so busy looking at people's lists and trying to see what you want to trade that sometimes you just kind of forget what you put in there. If they have provided a YouTube handle or an Instagram handle, I will share that with you. Otherwise, I'm not going to mention it. I do want to mention too, in case I didn't, before I got started on this, there usually is a set amount of seeds. Like it'll be 6 large seeds, which would be beans and pumpkins, or it might be 10 smaller seeds, which would be, or medium seeds, which would be like peppers and tomatoes, and then it'll be like 1/4 tablespoon for tiny seeds. But I will say that you can trade other amounts as long as it's mutually agreed upon. Is that if that person knows that this is a rare seed and you're only be trading 3 of them, that's fine, as long as the person you're trading with is aware that it's not the average trade or the suggested trade. So I just kind of wanted to get that out of the way to explain things. Okay, we have yellow plum tomato, which I don't really remember trading for this. This must be a gift because it's not one of the ones that is included, because she wrote down all the things that I traded for. And this is not one of the things I traded for. So this right here, I'm sure, is just a gift. And people do that. People will send extras. Oh, this one says 1884 pink. And this is a tomato that was bred in West Virginia. So I've been trying to collect all the West Virginia bred tomatoes, and this is one of them. Mountaineer's Delight. Also another West Virginia tomato. Girls Girl Weird Thing tomato. And White Cherry tomato, which is another gift. And Galaxy tomato seeds, which is one I traded for. This one is German lunchbox tomato and Encardi paste tomato. And people reuse things. Like this person just took an old envelope and made an envelope to swap seeds to put all my swaps in. So they're kind of recycling, which is good. Now, do pay attention. Some people, when you're doing swaps like this, some people will specifically tell you what they want some people will specifically tell you what they want the swaps sorted into. Like, there's one that I do, they want the swaps sorted into, like, little envelopes. So each person, like, if I traded 5 things with Mary, all of Mary's swaps would go into that one envelope. And I just try to use whatever method the swap coordinator asks us to use, because I feel like ultimately it's going to make it easier on them. Okay, back to seeds. This is Homestead tomato, and this is sweet basil. And I do have sweet basil, but basil is one of those things that I use so much of I can never have enough of. And sometimes when I'm looking at people's lists, they might not have a whole lot of stuff on their list, either A, because they don't have a large seed collection, or B, they're just or B, they're just not putting their whole category, everything they've got up for trade, which I completely understand. I don't do that either. But if a person doesn't have a whole lot of stuff on their list that I want, then I will go with the classics. Like, I'm always going to be able to use a bunch of sweet basil. And when I say I don't want, it's not that I don't want it. It's just that I have a large seed collection, so a lot of the seeds I already have, and I might not be ready to re-up those seeds. So I get stuff like this that I use a lot of that I'm going through quickly. Lunaria, and this is supposed to be a variegated one. And this is Pink Surprise Calendula, and this was a gift because I did not trade for Pink Surprise Calendula, which I'm glad. I love the calendula. My seeds that I'm kind of obsessed with. I am so stumbling over my words. The seeds that I'm kind of obsessed with right now are calendulas and nasturtiums, and I mean always tomatoes, but like things that aren't tomatoes that I'm obsessed with right now are the nasturtium and the calendula. Okay, this is a marigold, and I think it's called Naughty. It's either Mignette or Mariette. I really can't tell because seeds are covering the writing, and I'm not going to mess with them or open them just to figure it out. I will put the corrected version on the screen of what it actually is if I can remember. If I can remember to do so. This is another marigold. Let's see. This is just a French dwarf marigold. And I love marigolds. I love planting them. I love looking at them. I just love the marigolds. Okay. Dark orange zinnia. Let's see. Asian garden celosia, assorted zinnias, and silver queen hybrid corn. Now when it comes to these trades, you are allowed to use seeds you've purchased, or you are also allowed to use seeds you've saved. They usually ask that you distinguish whether it's purchased seed or saved seed, just so the person receiving them will know. Some people don't, though. I mean, it's not like you're going to be kicked out if you don't. It's just what they suggest. Alright. This says golden ground cherry. I'm going to have to look that up. I'm not familiar with that variety. Okay. This next one is Bosque Blue Bosque Blue Bumblebee Tomato. Like I said, some people it's only one thing you're trading, some people you trade several things for. Okay, this is some saved seed from some pineapple sage. Some of these things I'm going to be getting in the ground soon. Or, you know, get started. This is Rattlesnake Master. And it is Orangeum. This next one is Hairy Balls Milkweed. Now, I do have a few Hairy Balls Milkweed, but because I've given some away and I planted some, I'm getting low, so I wanted to trade for more because the last time I planted this, the caterpillars ate them down to nothing. I did not get a single seed pod. I had a big, huge, beautiful plants, but the caterpillars ate them down to nothing, and honestly, that's why I plant them. So I let them just do it. I didn't pick them off or try to discourage them, and probably that's what's going to happen again. And if I do happen to get a seed pod that develops completely, I had seed pods. They just didn't ripen. They didn't get fully mature to where they were producing seeds because the plant got eaten down. So if I do get some seed pods and they are able to get mature, I'll save seeds. Otherwise, I'll just have to keep buying or trading for it. This is Texas Sage Breathurst Pink. Breathurst Pink Salvia. A coleus mix. Now, coleus is one of the things I love to get from saved seed because they crossbreed and cross-pollinate so readily that you're going to get some really unique, cool varieties possibly from these saved seeds. Okay, French Double Dwarf Marigold. I was looking for some of the smaller marigolds because I have quite a few tall ones and I'm needing just some smaller ones to plant around and in between things, though even the smaller ones can get quite out of control. They just don't get as tall. And by out of control, I don't mean that they're going to be invasive or take over. They just become bushy and lush if they like their spot. Alright, this is Atomic Purple Gomphrena, and it looks like someone saved these seeds. Dahlia seeds. Dahlia is another thing that I love to get from someone's garden because they crossbreed so readily. They have, every seed's going to be unique and different, and even on the same plant, you can have the same plant and each seed from that plant, even if they're saved from the same flower, are going to be different. I got the Kalima Bush Bean and Rainbow Sorbet Celosia. I got some elephant garlic corms, and I'm probably going to go ahead and plant these soon, to be honest with you. I might plant them up there. I might plant them up there in my garlic bed that I've got. I know that these are generally planted in fall, but I think I might go ahead and plant them like today or tomorrow and just see what happens. I know that some people here do plant their garlic in early spring. I don't know how well that will work with elephant garlic. I've never planted it in spring, so I'm just going to try planting it probably within the next few days and see what happens. Hopefully I at least get enough that I can save some bulbs for planting in the fall. Okay, this one they sent me a pretty little sticker, and I love that when people do that. I've got quite a pretty sticker collection going now from all the people who send stickers with their seed swaps, but I really don't have anywhere to put them, so I'm going to need to figure that out. I'll just put them in a picture frame. Who knows? This is Vanilla Berry Nasturtium. This is Cherries Jubilee Nasturtium. Okay, Fruit Smoothie Zinnia, Dahlia Flowered Zinnia, Dainty Marietta Marigold, Neon Pink Popcorn, and it's pretty pink. And some Boxcar Willie tomatoes. Looks like it's the rest of a package. This one is wrapped kind of. Oh, I see. I was trying to unwrap it the wrong way. Oh, those are little seed packages. Let's see. I got Dwarf Blackfire tomato. I've got Ackers West Virginia tomato. And like I said, I'm trying to collect the West Virginia tomatoes. So here's another one checked off the list. And Red Furry Board tomatoes. I've got Tiffin Mennonite tomato and Zoichka tomato. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I got a bonus, a chocolate pear tomato. This wasn't traded for. And I got a bonus of Japanese white dandelion. And I already have some Japanese white dandelions. So not only will I just start some more, but I will probably pass some of these along to a seed swap I'm possibly going to in person on Saturday. And if I go to that, I'll probably take some of these with it. Though not all of them, because I do want to plant some more. I've got a cappuccino tomato and a Kellogg's breakfast tomato. And here is my last trade. And this person, these bags are useful, so I will keep those. They gave me, you know, there's a couple of those. And they wrote me, oh, I see. This right here, they wrote me a nice kind note. It says, hopefully these bags will be helpful when you're bagging blossoms or seed heads. Thank you for the trades and happy gardening. See, I need to do more stuff like this because I don't. And when people do it, it always makes me feel so good. So I kind of need to return that. I need to return the favor. Okay, these are Greasy Grits beans. And you always, I've never grown these. But here in the Appalachian region, you always hear about the Greasy Grits beans. So I thought I would get them and try them since they're a tradition in my area. I've got the Korean long tomato. I've got a Mr. Snow tomato. I have a Copperhead tomato. I have a Green Doctor's tomato. And the last one is a Bloody Butcher tomato. Okay guys, that'll be all for my seed swap. So I cannot wait to get some of these started. There's a few of the things I'll start now, and there's a few of the things that will still be a few weeks out before I need to start them. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you hanging out with me, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone.